truly magnificent. I think this battle is about to come to a rousing finale.
Prepare yourself, Saiyan.
So I haven't been on Twitter like all day, and when I jump on, I see this tweet by Puar Rage on Twitter. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description below and the top comment. But Puar Rage says, I suppose I don't see the whole did Paragus abuse Broly debate in too serious of a light because DBS Broly itself doesn't get its story straight on what's fair and unfair to him in the movie. It pretends like it does, but that illusion doesn't hold against any scrutiny. So I kind of skimmed over this a little bit, and there are some tremendous revelations on here by Puar Rage, kudos to him, on just how Broly was treated compared to everybody else. This is the kind of stuff that I love. Psychological dissection of Dragon Ball. I know it's not that deep when it comes to like certain things, it's not Berserk, but at the same time it has a lot of elements that do go a little bit deeper than skin surface, and it's not just all battles. There are deeper things going on here, even if you guys don't want to see it. And this is exactly what this article says, that the real abuse in this relationship with Broly in the movie is from characters that actually portray themselves as his friends, not his father. Let's go ahead and jump in, guys, because this changes how you view Dragon Ball Super Broly forever. So if you don't want it to be changed, then don't watch this video. But if you want it to be changed in a more enlightening tone, if you want to know a little bit more about the whole thing and a little bit deeper into Broly, I would definitely watch till the very end, because this gets nuts. First, Puar Rage retweets Golden PSP's tweet that says that essentially Goku was raised in a very similar fashion to Broly, but his communication skills were amazing. So that shows that Grandpa Gohan probably had a lot of person-to-person level conversations with Goku, teaching him how to talk. And what Puar Rage responds to that, or at least retweets to that, is that that's probably the worst thing that Paragus did, is more than likely he ignored Broly as an equal. Like, he didn't want to talk to him. He probably kind of kept him at arm's distance. Broly and Paragus had the relationship of what I would imagine an original Saiyan father to have with his son back in like the Bardock special, like not Dragon Ball minus Bardock, like where he kind of like likes Goku or thinking about his kids with Ine and stuff like that. No, Paragus is more like Bardock, who doesn't really know or care where his son got sent off to, kind of thing. That's kind of how Paragus is. So him not having any conversations with Broly really shows that old school mentality when it comes to Saiyan upbringing. My main scruple with Paragus being abusive is that he doesn't quite revel in his control over Broly. The Ba incident is really the only time he does. While that's important, you'd think being trapped and starving for decades on a desolate planet would make him a bit crazier. The planet has a huge effect on Broly and Paragus. It makes Broly a almost wild animal, like a savage. For the most part, you know, he can be tamed. He's like Tarzan, essentially. And then Paragus becomes a little bit more crazy. I mean, as soon as he gets on the island, he kills the pilot. So it didn't take very long for him to kind of lose it a little bit and to really hone his skills on survival. Like, he was in survival mode. So trying to teach Broly to survive and not show any compassion to Ba, even, that shows that he is, again, an old school Saiyan parent where, you know, no mercy, like the type of parent that would send his kid to a different planet as an Uzaru and then transform into an Uzaru so he can destroy everything, that kind of parent. And at the same time, he was trying to have Broly survive on the planet the best way he knew how. Basically, I think the groundwork is there to show Paragus clearly did suck as a father, but DBSD doesn't emphasize it nearly enough, considering this is the main-ish dynamic in the movie. Honestly, I'm only defending him in relation to the freak shows I'll talk about now. So he's gonna go into the relationship Broly has with the other characters, which warning, you guys may get triggered on some of the things Puar Rage has to say. First up is Chilai and Lemo. They act shook at the shock collar, but sold Broly to Frieza for a fat buck. Absolutely true. Chilai blames everything on Paragus, makes totally wrong assumptions about Broly, and even ends up speaking for him at the end, which she ironically criticizes Paragus for. So she essentially takes kind of like the role of Paragus. She doesn't have a, she doesn't have a shock collar, but she definitely has the Dragon Balls to wish him back to Planet Vampa. So she kind of acts like Paragus in a way, in a more motherly way, but still realizes the limitations there are with Broly and some of the things that she has to do with Broly to get him to not destroy everything. But at the same time, they did sell Broly, and so their scruples, their ambition overtook the fact that she found survivors that were starving, malnourished, or whatever the case might be, and miserable on this planet, and she just gave them up to Frieza. The movie presents her and Lemo as the morally just party, and they don't ever question their own actions or assumptions. Sure, they were good to him at times, but are still guilty of getting him involved with Frieza and being reckless with him, which is true. Chilai takes the remote control because she thinks that Broly is being tortured on purpose, not realizing that Broly actually needed the shock collar so he doesn't kill everybody, essentially. And Paragus, as the father that raised him, he knew this fact. He wasn't being evil on purpose. He was using this because he had no other option to use this, or else he would end up like the Paragus from the Dragon Ball Z movie, the original one. Then there's Vegeta, who does nothing but bully Broly to the point that he tries to kill him when he's already down and barely threatening Vegeta at that point. He stops even acknowledging Broly as a person at that point and just treats him as a monster thereon. Good job, buddy. Vegeta, I mean, Broly was sent there to kill Vegeta, so Vegeta treating Broly like garbage, to me, isn't that big of a deal, because first of all, it's Vegeta. Second of all, Vegeta does this not only when he meets other Saiyans, but he also does this to other antagonists, or quote-unquote antagonists, in any other situation. And at the same time, again, this is an assassin that came to kill Vegeta, had a pent-up aggression and vendetta against Vegeta. Paragus did, using Broly as a tool, so Vegeta, to me, is cleared. In comes Goku, and he's really the one person who shows he understands Broly. Too bad that goes away when Broly hulks out. Hell, he even smirks because Waku Waku when Broly's having his Super Saiyan meltdown. So now this I agree on. Goku should know where Broly is coming from the onset. He should have asked some questions, though. He should have really talked them. I would have loved to have seen a conversation, a real conversation between Goku and Broly, since they've had very similar upbringings, except Broly's was way worse. And so I believe that, yeah, this is right on the money. Goku should have had a conversation with him, but Goku, as soon as he sees a fight coming his way, he is the type to just let's go and go Super Saiyan Blue, wants to go even further beyond, all that stuff. This is Dragon Ball Super Goku, though. Dragon Ball Z Goku may have been a little bit more cautious with Broly, at least, maybe having some questions with him, not wanting him to get even stronger or Hulk out even more. But the DBS Goku, he just wants to fight, and that's kind of what we Dragon Ball fans have, a lot of us have been complaining about when it comes to Goku's characterization. Even at the end of the movie, he doesn't care to really talk with Broly. If he did, he would have talked about his dad, his past, and what happened on Earth. Instead, he pretty much just says, "You make me happy, so now you're my boy toy. Go get strong for me," and leaves him there. Yes. Reiterating what I just said before, Goku should have at least talked to him, but the movie, in my opinion, was coming to an end. So I take this not because of the story, but I take this because of the movie. The movie was coming to an end. It was already past his runtime. Goku having an in-depth conversation at the very end of the movie would have stretched it out a little bit more. I feel like if we would have shortened some of the minus stuff, we could have had a heart-to-heart between Goku and Broly at least. But the movie wanted to end up real quick, and to me, when I was in the theaters, when I watch the movie now, I don't mind the way the movie ends. I want to see this conversation happen at some point. I want Broly and Goku to have a heart-to-heart talking about things. I want Broly to feel comfortable to talk about Paragus' death, and he thinks that he did it because that was never resolved. He still thinks that he did it, not Frieza. And Goku talking to him and saying, hey, I killed my grandpa too. Like, they have so much in common, man. This could be in the next arc. This could be in the next manga chapter or chapters or whatever, you know, when Broly comes back. So I'm gonna leave the dial tone on this because I think that this conversation will come soon. Interestingly, Gogeta's a mixed bag. At first, he plays around with Broly like Goku did. He throws banter around, lets Broly come to him, and overall just keeps the fight as lighthearted as it could get. Hell, you could see this as him taming Broly properly and pumping him up, which I think that the Gogeta versus Broly fight at first was rather lax. I do believe that they're having a little bit too much fun facing off against somebody who's completely mentally unstable and exploding in anger and rage and not really knowing how to control his body, when Broly could easily destroy the entire planet they're living on. But at the same time, I think Gogeta at this point had it handled, essentially. That's why he was playing with Broly a little bit. Unfortunately, going blue made him a sociopath and hammered Broly relentlessly until he had the fear of God in his eyes. He didn't even stop there and went for the kill despite seeing Broly almost on his knees. Goku didn't even go that hard when Jiren tried to kill his friends. I think Goku did go that hard in my opinion. I think Goku really did go that hard when he thought that Jiren was trying to kill his friends. But I don't think that Goku had the power in him to kind of terminate Jiren like that, or at least he knew that he would be disqualified if he did. So he didn't want to. This was a free-for-all. He could have done anything. Gogeta could have done anything. At the same time, I like this because, I mean, earlier in the fight, you get Goku, but again, there's two people in this fusion, two minds fighting for control. At this point now, I believe that seeing that maybe Broly was a huge threat, he needed to be taken down, and just that Saiyan combativeness, like that Saiyan pride, the soldier, the warrior within, came through, maybe through Goku. I think it's more a Vegeta thing at this point, and he was gonna kill Broly. To me, this was one of my favorite parts in the entire thing, entire movie. Out of all these people, Paragus is the only one that's treated anything like a bad guy. Some argue you're meant to be on Broly's side in the final battle, but the direction says otherwise, since it's all Unga Bunga Gogeta Chad and Broly gets zero agency all the way to the end. Like, Broly really doesn't have much to say in this, so he doesn't really grow in this movie, which again, I wish that he would have. I wish that that was a thing. So in short, Paragus was surely making life rough for Broly, but between all the other good guys, quote unquote good guys, ultimately treating him like scum or a puppet, I find it hard to pin just him as the big bad meanie. Yeah, I think they all kind of suck when it comes to their treatment of Broly. So there you have it, guys. That's essentially the entire thread. Honestly, there's a lot more you can pack on there, like the fact that Chilai kind of is into Broly a little bit, but she's into Broly, and Broly has like the mental capacity of like a 5-year-old. So yeah, that also is a little bit strange. So they all kind of treat Broly like they need something from him, and yeah, it's not a good look. And so I'm going to leave a link to Poir Rage's thread. Again, make sure you go ahead and check it out. And if you made it to this point of the video, you are now part of the hashtag #EndOfVideoSquad. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Make sure to drop that comment with that hashtag for a chance to be featured in my next video. Today I'm going to be responding to Crisis Among Infinite Darts AC. It appears that even the gods have their limits. I believe they do. I don't believe they're limitless, and I think that at some point toward the end of DBS, we're going to find out that they do have their limits. Thank you so much for your comment. This is going to be Black Escape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.